Today we are covering Aliens, the sequel to Alien. I just gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite sequel titles to any movie. It's just so simple, but works so well. Because now there are multiple aliens. Well, if you can see them, they're not really in the movie that much. Aliens is highly praised by a lot of people, mostly because it's directed by James Cameron during his heyday. So everyone seems to love this movie. Everyone thinks it's a masterpiece. And hey look, there's even Kyle Reese in the movie, basically playing the exact same character as Kyle Reese in Terminator. I'm not even joking. Well, for the most part. The story it follows the exact events of the last plot, where they pick up Ripley 56 years later. Not that it matters if it's 56 years later, but it just is. And she wakes up only to discover that there's colonists on the planet where the xenomorphs are from. And of course, there's shit that happens there, so she has to go back down there with a military group. And apparently in this future, America still exists and illegal immigration is a problem, because they make a joke about illegal alien at one point, referring to a person who's Hispanic. Okay, whatever. And with this ragtag group of people, discover that all the colonists are dead. Well, except for one girl, and that's about it. But there is a lot of aliens. Well, kind of. We don't really see them in most of the movies, shot in the dark when they're there. But, you know, they're there and they're killing people. So the rest of the film is trying to escape the planet and getting rid of all the aliens by nuking them and trying to save as much of the people on the crew as possible. But a lot of them are going to die because this is kind of a horror film, but not really. It's like, who's going to get out and who's going to get killed by the aliens. So it's like the first movie, but with more of them, and it's not treated as seriously because it's treated kind of comedically and stuff like that. So while people consider this to be better than the first movie, some people, I'm on the category where the first movie was much better. So, is it a masterpiece? It is a very high score by rating sites. The answer to that is yeah, totally. It's one of the best films ever made. And you can just leave a review now, because that's all I gotta say. It's a masterpiece. Are those people gone? Alright, so I can finally say what I feel about this film. It is one of the most overrated films I ever saw in my life. I have never been so disappointed in a movie that's been hyped up so much. I don't know. I don't get the hype. I watched it twice in a row to see, like, am I missing something here? I love James Cameron. Terminator basically has some of the premise of this film, in kind of a way. I mean, there's the scene in Terminator where it showcases the future in the first movie with Kyle Reese and all that. That seemed to fit what Alien sequel looked like under James Cameron. But I just didn't get it with this film. It's very disappointing. Aliens isn't awful, but people are saying this is a masterpiece, and it does not live up to the first movie, which even then I didn't think the first movie was the best thing ever. I thought it was a pretty good horror movie. But this movie tries to do something different, but copies the structure of the first movie without any of these scares, and it does everything worse in pretty much every possible way. Mostly with the characters. There's a bunch of characters, however there's only 4 characters that I actually like. That being Ripley, of course, Newt, who's okay, Kyle Reese's character, I forget his name, and the android. The idea of the android here is that it's a reverse on the one in the first movie. I forgot the names, I'm not good with names. And that Ripley has to trust the guy, even though she has a problem with trusting them, which is a good idea, but the guy's not in it for very much, so that development doesn't really work, because for most of the film, except focusing on these 4 characters on screen, we're focused on the rest of the military, who don't take anything seriously, even though they're deadly aliens, and they're barely bad at following orders, and have very cliche dialogue, and act like complete fucking idiots the entire time. Literally, every character around the 4 that I like, that actually, oddly enough, those 4 characters are the ones that have survived to the end, they're literally cliche dialogue, like, fuck you, look into my eye, and they're over-dramatic and badly acted, like, what the fuck happened, James Cameron? What the fuck were you doing here? So basically, if you watch this film, the very intro scene with Ripley getting used to being off the planet works very well in the setup. And then once you see the military at first, you basically want to skip through them. They're annoying scenes and a lot of them screaming. There's like Bill Paxton, R.I.P. All he does is the whole time. Like, what the fuck? It's not funny. It's fucking stupid. Keep in mind, the first Alien movie took itself completely serious, and it worked for the most part, and there's still some funny moments there, but here the film's like, isn't this funny? The guys are military complete jackasses. Well, I don't give a shit about the military, but like, what the fuck? I'm not supposed to take it seriously, the characters don't take it seriously. And yeah, I know the idea is for them to get killed off by the aliens, but we don't even see them get killed by the alien, because for some reason they're very afraid to show them. Which is fine. The first movie didn't show the xenomorph that much, but you think in a sequel called Aliens and multiple aliens, we'd see more of them, especially attacking and doing any brutal kills, but they don't! Most of the shots are like this. It tries to be an action film, but we don't see the action until the very end. And even then, in a movie called Aliens, it's only basically Ripley versus the Queen alien, and that's about it. There's a longer scene of them fighting a face hugger part of the alien over the actual aliens themselves makes a lot of sense. Now, sure, this is a really gross thing, but like this film is after it can be a war movie, but we just see people shooting guns like complete fucking idiots for the most part. Early in the mission, they can't use their guns because it's a highly explosive area and they can destroy the whole base. And so the guy's like, "Oh, don't do that." So instead of giving the characters the reason, which isn't very hard to say, if you shoot, they explode the whole area. It's like, just listen to me. And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll shoot anyway." Like, "Hey, why are you shooting?" "Well, they don't know why they're not supposed to shoot, you fucking idiot." And this happens a lot. Like I said, other than the 4 characters I mentioned before, so yeah, the little girl's smarter than most of these fucking military guys. Whoop-de-fucking-do. This is also supposed to be a critique on Vietnam, I guess, because the aliens are, like, weaker, I guess, but whatever. Were the Americans stupid as hell? I don't remember them being stupid in Vietnam. I don't fucking get it. Yeah, like in the first movie where there was an android trying to sabotage things, there's actually a company guy just trying to sabotage things, mostly to get a facehugger on board, which is kind of interesting, but we don't get a lot of development of that guy, and then he has an anticlimactic death by an alien where we don't even see it actually happen. I'm just a little annoyed this film basically treats all the people going to war as, all these guys are just fucking idiots who are the war-hungry people, and not the company, which, sure, they showcase that there's a bad guy from the company, and sure, but that guy doesn't even have an interesting death at all. Yeah, other than that one guy you're supposed to hate, everyone else just acts like a complete idiot, other than except the 4 characters that I like. So once a lot of those characters start dying, halfway through it gets a little better, as we actually see the other characters trying to figure out what's going to happen, but then again, we don't see a whole lot going on after that either. We're just kind of in a base like, okay, what should we do? Well, let's look at this computer. Okay, let's figure out what to do next. It's like the first movie, but way worse in every possible way. Like, making Alien an action movie isn't a terrible idea on the face of it, but the way they do it is so bad. And what's even more baffling is that this is from James Cameron. This should be a 10 out of 10 easy. I've seen his other work, they're all great. Hell, I think even Avatar is not that bad. But this doesn't do it for me. It has some bad pacing where the scenes are nothing happening other than look at how big our guns are. Whoop-de-fucking-do, I don't care about that. And there's a bit of lore of the xenomorphs and I guess additional lore between that, but nothing that exponential. Even the relationship between Ripley and Newt isn't that interesting, to be honest. It's something that I should be really into. I like the story dynamic with the grizzled, hardened battle warrior person in a terrible situation who having to take care of a younger person. That's something I like a lot. Walking Dead game, one of my favorite things ever, but here, just okay. This probably should have been the main focus of the film, but it isn't. It's on beat or banter. People making stupid jokes like, "Look into my eye, I'm in charge," and, "Oh, you look like shit, dude, yeah." All that other bullshit. Like, yeah, I'm a stupid guy, I think I'm cool, look, I got some guns. And that's most of half the film. And the other half is looking at a computer screen. Very interesting. As a follow-up to the first Alien, this is just not good. Just watch Alien 1. Maybe some of the other sequels, I don't know. I'm gonna watch Alien 3 tomorrow. Maybe it'll be better. One thing I noticed is that a lot of people who love this movie have grown up with it and even saw it before the first movie. I saw the first movie like 5-10 years ago, and I've seen this one just now, and trust me, this does not hold up, at least as a sequel, and watching it without any nostalgia goggles. It's not completely awful, there are good things, the effects look good for the most part, but somehow we see more of the alien in the first movie, which makes no sense. You think in a big budget film like this, that's trying to be as cool as possible, and like, yeah, action, but I don't know, it doesn't work for me. It's like trying to do something but not doing it at the same time. It wants to be a sequel to the original Alien and copy some of its elements of also being an action film, and feeling it doing both at the same time. Most of the characters are complete idiots, and you just want them all to die, which is not a good thing in a movie like this. You actually want to care about the characters, but no, here I do not care about them, well, other than 4 characters. It's trying way too hard to be funny in moments, then not taking stuff seriously enough that you don't even care. It's a movie that's probably great for a little kid watching for the first time. If there's a first action movie, you're like, oh my god, it's cool. But trust me, you're better off watching Alien by itself, and you're better off watching other James Cameron films. If you want something similar to this that James Cameron did, watch the Terminator films he did. They're better than this. Overall, I'm just not into Aliens. It's okay. But the biggest problem is this has been treated like it's the masterpiece that it isn't. I know I'm going to get hate for that, but some people don't even watch the review all the way through, so that's why I'm able to say all I want to say. And yeah, bye.